Good morning, students. Today we shall be learning about the space missions away from the Earth. Artificial satellites are being used for making our life more and more enriched. So we have studied about at least 6 different types of artificial satellites which are useful to us in different ways. For example, the communication satellite which helps us to communicate with the people across the world just in a few seconds. The navigation satellite which helps us to fix the location of any place on the Earth's surface in terms of precise latitude and longitude. The weather satellite which helps us to predict the weather conditions. And the Earth observation satellite or the remote sensing satellite which helps us to find out more about forests, deserts, oceans, polar ice on the Earth's surface, natural resources, their management, observation and guidance in case of natural calamities like flood, earthquake, etc. So definitely these artificial satellites have enriched our lives. However, in the previous standard, we have learned about how the telescopes aboard artificial satellites are used to gather information about various objects in the universe. So you have studied about the Hubble's telescope or the AstroSat or the X-ray Chandra telescope. So you have studied about all these telescopes which are aboard artificial satellites. The Hubble's telescope was launched by NASA on April 24, 1990 aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery. It is currently located about 547 kilometers above the Earth's surface, where it completes 15 orbits per day. That is approximately one orbit every 95 minutes. Then we have another telescope, that is AstroSat. It is India's first dedicated multi-wavelength space telescope. It was launched on a PSLV XL on 28th September 2015. And with the success of this satellite, ISRO has proposed launching another AstroSat 2 as a successor of the AstroSat. Then we have the Chandra X-ray Observatory. It's a telescope specially designed to detect X-ray emissions from very hot regions of the universe, such as the exploded stars, clusters of galaxies, and matter around the black holes. So this is about the various telescopes which are still operational. Similarly, some space missions are used to gain further knowledge about the universe. In these missions, spacecrafts are sent to nearby objects in the solar system to observe them more closely. New information has been obtained from such missions, and it is helping us to understand the creation and evolution of our solar system. So for such missions, the spacecrafts must escape the Earth's gravitational force to travel into the outer space. To achieve this, the initial velocity of the moving objects, that is spacecrafts, must be greater than the escape velocity of the Earth. We had calculated the escape velocity of the Earth to be 11.18 kilometers per second. So the spacecrafts which are sent into the space must have the initial velocity greater than the escape velocity from the Earth to reach that place. So here we are going to study about some space missions that have been taken up by various countries. Moon missions. Since the moon is the closest astronomical object to us, the first space missions to objects in the solar system were the missions to the moon. Such missions have so far been executed by USA, Soviet Union, European countries, China, Japan and India. The spacecrafts in the Luna series sent by Soviet Union reached near the moon. So here the word Luna means moon. It's a Latin name for moon. Luna 2, launched in 1959, was first such craft. After that, till 1975, 15 spacecrafts made chemical analysis of the moon and also measured its gravity, density, and radiations. Last 4 crafts even landed on the moon and brought the samples of stones on the moon for analysis in the laboratory. All these missions were unmanned, that is, no human being was a part of these missions. America also executed moon missions from 1962 to 1972. The speciality of these missions was that some of these were manned missions. In July 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step on the moon. In 2008, Indian Space Research Organisation, that is ISRO, successfully launched Chandrayaan-1 and placed it in an orbit around the moon. So Chandrayaan-1 brought the evidence of water molecules on the surface of the moon. So this was a big achievement by Chandrayaan-1, that is, evidence of water molecules was discovered by it. And for further studies on the extent of water molecule distribution on the surface of the moon, the Chandrayaan-2 was launched. It sent useful information to Earth for about a year. The most important discovery made during the mission was the presence of water on the moon's surface. India was the first country to discover this. So Chandrayaan-2, some information I would like to share here. It is India's second lunar exploration mission and it is developed by ISRO. It was launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota, that is in Andhra Pradesh. Chandrayaan-2 was launched to go where no country had gone before, the moon's south polar area. So Chandrayaan-2 was to go to the south polar region of moon. This area is permanently in shadows and there is a possibility of finding water there. Chandrayaan-2 comprised of a 6-wheeled rover which was called as Pragyan, and it was to carry out various scientific experiments. So this Chandrayaan-2 mission comprised of a rover which was called Pragyan. Then there was a lander whose name was Vikram, and it also comprised of an orbiter. So these were the 3 main parts of Chandrayaan-2, that is the orbiter, the launcher and the rover. The launcher was GSLV Mk3 and it is India's most powerful launch vehicle to date, and it has been completely designed and fabricated from within the country. So this is all about moon missions. All this is information based and so we will not go into much details. Mars missions. Next to the moon, the astronomical object nearest to the Earth is the Mars. Many nations send spacecrafts to the Mars. Mars mission is difficult and almost half the missions were unsuccessful. However, ISRO's performance in this mission is remarkable and we all must be proud of it. So the biggest challenges in such missions is the interplanetary distance, which is very high. So the enormous distances that are involved in the interplanetary missions present a demanding challenge. This is the biggest challenge before scientists. So developing and mastering technologies that are essential for these missions can open endless possibilities for space exploration. So we need to develop such technologies, and once these technologies are developed so as to cover the interplanetary distances, it will open endless possibilities for space exploration. The spacecraft Mangalyaan, made by ISRO using minimum expenses, was launched in November 2013 and was placed into orbit around Mars in September 2014. So after leaving the Earth, the orbiter nearly spent 300 days before it reached Mars. It obtained very useful information about the surface of Mars and the atmosphere around it. So Mars Orbiter Mission, or it is also acronymed as MOM, that is MOM, Mars Orbiter Mission, or it is also called as the Mangalyaan, and it was India's first venture into the interplanetary space. The aim of Mangalyaan was to explore and observe Mars' surface, morphology, the study of minerals, and the Martian atmosphere. What kind of atmosphere is there on Mars was studied with the help of this mission. A specific search for methane in the Martian atmosphere would provide information about the possibility or the past existence of life on the planet. So this was another aim of Mangalyaan, that is the search for methane in the Martian atmosphere. So this is all about Mars missions. In 2019, there was a movie by the name Mission Mangal that was also made on the Mangalyaan, or the Mars Orbiter mission, that was developed by ISRO, and it also told us a story about the various scientists who were involved in this mission.